alleged officers left his belongings, paperwork at the mosque. The investigation disclosed sufficient evidence to determine that the allegation, the alleged conduct, did occur, but was in accordance with law and with all OPD, bada, 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 bada. They say, sure that happened. I'm telling them this. When they arrest me at the Masjid, let's say at 12:03, something like that, September the 2nd, 2014. So they bam on the door. And, who is that? What did I say? I stopped police. And then Mukhtar says something. I said, Mukhtar, you got to get away from here, man. Come back tomorrow. I'm not going to open up no door in the midnight and you come in and you're acting a fool. Anything can happen. You know. So pretty soon the police get louder and beating heavy. So I said, they act like they're getting ready to come in. They are running all around the back, the windows and everything. So it's okay. I'm gonna come on out. So I said, hands first, body second. You know, like I'm sticking my hands out the door. So I stick my hand up just like this. I said, there they are. Now, when they arrest me, hands on the wall, then they handcuff me right away. I said, what's the charge? Trespassing. I said, I just happen to have the deed right there on the desk. They just walk right in there. They ain't listen to nothing. They have me handcuffed. Every time they arrest me, same policy. They handcuff me and take me and put me in the car. And I can talk all I want, but I'm not going to get to go back in that masjid. And it's all on their body cams, you know. So I said, I have $10,000 in there, you know. So you could just let me get it, or you could get it and put it in my pocket, whatever. Shoot, I was barefooted and everything. They just took me to jail barefooted. This is the time when we went to jail and went out to Santa Rita. That's the county jail. Of course, I'm handcuffed from behind. This is the time when they was doing that stuff that they did do to everybody else. You know what I mean? Like the guy had his foot on his knee on his neck. Okay, here's what I told the police the next morning. The goon squad, all of it, was a whole crew of them. I was handcuffed from behind. And I was on a cement floor. They lift my legs up. I've mentioned this many times. They lift my legs up so the weight is shifting in my body, right, to my chest and neck. And I can't get no air. And I tell them the same thing the brother told them. Hey man, I can't breathe. So within 1 or 2 seconds, when I saw they wasn't gonna make no move, all I did was just like working out. Like I said, all I did is they back there and I can feel all the new martial arts stuff doing with my hands and my legs. They're really, so I lifted myself up, not up to get off the ground, but enough to get a little air. So what I would do, I did a workout. All the time I was going through this, I could feel a foot or a hand on my back to keep me, to choke me. That's what they was trying to do, asphyxiate. But I had enough, excuse the term, willpower and determination to pull myself up a little bit, and then I would relax. So I pulled myself up. Get a deep breath. And just collapse. what I was doing, that I was doing a workout. So I pulled myself up. As I'm coming up, I get my breath. And they didn't get it, you know, what I was doing. They could see it, they looking at it, but they don't understand. What I'm doing is breathing. Because I didn't say I can't breathe but once or twice. After that, I said that I was talking to myself again psychologically. I can't breathe. That means they're gonna really work you over, you know, because you can feel your body, what they're doing. So again, and I did that until they stopped. After they stopped, then they say, okay, we're gonna take the cuffs off. I'm in a room by then, you know. And I was 69 something. So, you know how that concrete is on your body. So, after they took the handcuffs off, they said, now don't do nothing. And I didn't want to tell them. But if you're 69 years old and you've been handcuffed and got rings around your arms, when they let you go, you know what I did? I did a few push-ups, slow push-ups. Because you're lucky you're able to get up. At 69, you're lucky to be able, you know what I mean? To just jump up. If they had the record, they was thinking maybe I'd jump up and start fighting or something. But that'd be pretty serious. You know what I mean? If you're able to do that. But anyway, that was September 2014. All these and others I showed you were later because this stuff, I did it backwards. They was having one incident after another. Later on, oh, this is a friend of mine, by the way, very good man. Alama Zakzaki. He's had similar things in Nigeria, except I had one grandson killed, and he had, I don't know if it was really 6. Did he really have 6? No, he did. 6 is, because I know his daughter is in Dubai somewhere, right, and she's always giving a report. Now, I want to give you a little view of what's going on, too. Why would they do all of this stuff? Revolution from Egypt to the Americas, right? It has Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. Can you see that? Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. This is Imam Jamil Alameen, H. Rap Brown. This is Imam Luqman. Imam Luqman was martyred in Detroit in about 2009. This is Imam Jamil Alameen. He's been in prison now for 20 years. On March 16th, it was 20 years. This is a picture of me right here at the bottom. We didn't make this. This is not a flyer. We got it off the internet. You know what that means? Your homeboy number 1 is in prison for the rest of his life. We know he ain't killed nobody because the police said, right? I looked into his eyes, the police supposed to got shot, and his eyes was gray. You can just look and see, you don't have to be blind to see. And Imam Jamil supposedly was shot. You can see Imam Jamil is light-skinned. If he was shot, even if he had a bulletproof vest on and he's shot point blank, He got a bruise, maybe a couple broken ribs, right? Everybody knows that. Nothing like that. He don't have no bruises when he was arrested. He don't have nothing. It can't be him, but he's in prison anyway. He's in prison anyway because of many things. Number one, they put a gag order on the case. Number two, they have him surrounded anyway. And the next thing is that the press has a field day, ex-Black Panther, ex this, that, and other. So when the jury comes in, they already got a view of him. But now, they put a gag order on Imam Jamil. Wait, his people can't say nothing about it. So it's quiet, 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 right? How can they do all this to me? Look at here. Let me show you something now so you don't think nobody's crazy. This is a picture of dear Imam Musa, the nicest guy in town, with the fat busted off his head. Let me tell you now, can you see these ropes that look like bubbles? Can you see that? This is bubbles, man, on top of my head. Blood bubbles. This is November the 4th. Is that 2018? 2018. I go to the hospital in Oakland, Highland, get patched up. They don't do nothing serious. They even write me a letter. I'll pull it up. We heard that you've been a victim of violence, and we can help you with money and counseling. They sent me a letter. The night this attack, I gave them Mukhtar's name, Khadijah's name, and everything. Right? I said, they did that. To the police. I got the paperwork that said it, yeah. Nothing happened. When I called the police the next day or so, and remember I had a phone record, and the phone record would tell you whether you called who you talking to. You call the police. Yeah, this happened last night. I want to follow up on da-da-da-da-da. Okay, very well. They ain't said nothing, and they ain't did nothing. But they have on the video, didn't y'all tell me that y'all had a video of them coming up to the door and say, yeah, there he is in there, sitting down? Yeah. Because they looking through the hole in the door. Yeah. And that's where I was. I was in there sitting down. And some of the videos have the time, Oakland, da-da-da-da, right? Look at here, man. This is unbelievable. Police ain't said nothing. I drive back to D.C., then I drive back to Arizona for a program, and on the way back, this stuff started working. And I couldn't hold no coffee, you know what I mean? But I got on back and I said, well, I'll get over it in a day or so, you know. And I got in the bathtub and couldn't get out. So my daughter helped me out. She said, we're going to have to take you to the hospital. But down at the DW, they kept me a few weeks, whatever it was. They cut my brain open and you can see all the ridges. You go in, Negroes got ridges all in their head like that. These are ridges, right? I mean, I don't know what they put up there, but I was busted in the head, and look at here. One of the brothers that's here now came to visit me, and I was sitting there and I didn't say but one word. I don't know, I think it was optimism. You know why I only said one word? Well, that's the only thing I could say. Can you imagine when they say there, nigga, I'm gonna knock your brains out? Can you imagine? That is really possible? You can brutalize somebody till they can't remember anything. Before you get out of the hospital, you're sitting there and they come in every day and they ask you, what day is this? everything. What I did after a few days, I got used to looking at the board. You know, the board has a date, and it has the name, and it was DW Hospital, you know, and I could get that right because I'm looking at it. But what's your name? Boy, can you imagine you just had to sit there for, and they just scratch, well, not today, we ain't letting you go today. They don't say that, but that's what they're doing. You gotta have a certain amount of days. And this recovery, walking you around in the hospital, can you imagine that to walk from here to the end of the masjid and back can be a long way when you got your brains busted out? It's okay. They said nothing about it. To this day, and now we passed out stuff with all of this, so everybody knows about this stuff. There ain't nobody that don't know about all of this. Yeah, we passed out, I have another one, but I don't want to be wasting too much time. So, here's this. This really happened. So we want y'all people who are demonstrating to understand that there's people, basically y'all are amateurs in this stuff, because there's people that's being, even in DC, we've been doing this stuff for years. We've been doing these demonstrations and what have you for such a long time that, let me see if I can find one or two here. We've been technically doing demonstrations in DC for 30 years. We've been managing demonstrations. We've been predicting, and we've been forecasting. We've been doing everything that would get you ready for the things that the community is going through right now. Here's some of the old stuff. And this might be one of the reasons that a lot of this is happening. This is a newspaper from Iran. This is Imam. This is old. But you see here, who is this guy? This is the leader of Palestinians, Sudanese, Pakistanis, and the one representing the United States, Muslims in the United States, is yours truly. Okay. Here's a picture with the Rahbar. There's no other American that I even know that ever even, you know, this is the so-called supreme leader, and da-da-da-da-da. He's a bad guy, probably considered the worst man in the world, nicest guy I know. Here's dear Rouhani, President Rouhani. So all the presidents, here's one that they love to hate. President Ahmadinejad. Now, suppose this president that they hate, when I got attacked, suppose he tweets a message. Did you ever see the tweet? Mm-hmm. He tweeted, about Imam, well, you can protect such and such, but you can't protect your own citizens. That's what he said about me. The night I got an operation, I was almost drugged. I got a call from Iran. And one of my brother was...
This is actually a tweet he sent out in reference to George Floyd.
Oh, yeah, okay. The scheme of the world powers is to cause disunity in order to keep all societies under control. The killing of George Floyd was deeply disturbing and upsetting, and is the result of the current world order, which we all must unite against. So, yeah, President Ahmadinejad, you know, when I came back, I had my phone and I had a picture with him. Huh?
You didn't read the last,
What did they say? What is it?
pull the trigger, nigga.
Pull the trigger, kill a nigga. He's a hero. They got the point. They know everybody knows what's going on there. I'll divert just a minute. Inside of the United States and the leadership is a colossal failure. We prayed for all of this, but something that's surreal is when you expect something to happen, you pray for it to happen, and it happens right in front of your face. That is a trip. That's the biggest trip you're going to ever go on, is to expect something to happen, to pray for it to happen, to want it to happen, and then it happens almost word for word like you asked, except more additives. It's a little better. Allah can always sprinkle, little stuff on there for you. Can you imagine what America looks like now? I want y'all to remember. You don't have to worry about anti-fascist groups. You don't have to worry about nobody abusing your demonstration. You are going to, and you're getting full benefit from that inside of the United States. Some of the demonstrators who are white definitely are let's call them agitators. But not all of them. Do you know how many white folks you see in them demonstrations? And you listen to them, and I was listening this morning, they was asking the white lady, well, what about the destruction of the property, and what about the looting? And the white woman said, looting? He said, when you have those scams in New York, and Barney Madoff, said those are looting. That's looting. They was going in there, people got insurance. I know that they wouldn't even let them have a store. You don't have no insurance? Well, they can replace that property. You can't replace lives. They can replace property. And you ought to hear, I was listening to our Negro lady downtown. She was so mad about looting, it was a shame. And the people say, you didn't have that emotion in your voice about the man getting killed.